So, whoa. Yes, perfect start, killer start to the run, straight over the Bourbon Inn. Hey up, I'm Guy Kestevan, the Tester Man, and this is my live ride review of the Fox 34 GripX factory fork. So 34, as you'd imagine, 34mm legs, running it in 140mm travel, but it'll go down to 130 with a different air spring. It's a light fork, only 1750 grams now with this new GripX damper in. So that saves about 150 grams over the previous 34, and significantly that gives it now 150 gram advantage over the RockShox Pike. However, I would say straight away, and I'm not just saying this because I just binned it, this is a noticeably more flexible fork in terms of structure. And with the compression damper I'll talk about later on, it's also a bit more suited to kind of all-round HC trail use, because basically full round on a high speed lever now translates to a lockout. Straight over the top of the first burn. Just the front did nothing. When you're on with the climb, you move that high speed click around all the way to the back, and you basically got not a complete lockout, but definitely a lot firmer. A climb switch for the smooth pedally bits. Otherwise you got 15 clicks of high speed compression and then 16 clicks of low speed, and then 15 clicks of low speed rebound on the bottom as well. But that weight means it's also a bigger gap between 36 and 34, so you're looking about 300 grams between the two forks. So it's kind of definitely a reason for it to exist for people who don't need a super stiff all mountain fork, just want more of a all trail fork. And after the last run, I've now just sat it up more on the damper, because that new GripX definitely means you can run more damping with less harshness than the old Grip 2 forks, but it's way more supple all the way through than the Fit 4. That was a horrible, elbow hurting piece of fork. So now you've got the smoother damper, and you've got a bunch more shims as well controlling it, so just feels more settled. So it feels what I'm trying to say is, feels more damped. Whoa, God, these tyres are a fucking death trap. Brand new Alcatals. Just keep letting go. No idea what they're doing. Conditions are perfect here. These tyres are terrifying me. Maybe it's the release compound, maybe they're just the wrong tyre for today. That's scary. Okay, another near-death moment.
I crushed one of those trees.
So, where was I? What I was trying to say is, you can run more damping without suffering a lot of spiking like you did with the previous 34 forks. So you're much less reliant on the air spring, so you can run that soft, which means that initial stroke is really nice and smooth. So up to this point, I've been riding it for a few months already, before with the old damper and then with this damper, noticeably better traction and really lovely smoothness off the start until I put these tyres on. Well, you just have to believe me about the traction up front, and that more sort of trail positioning of this fork definitely showcased really well on these trails, because along here, light, lively, plenty of control, easy to lift the front end, skip it through stuff, sitting in the mid-stroke nicely, and that's how it's felt at Stainburn as well. And it's really felt like a cracking match for this top fuel, which is on the lighter side of the trail, with just 130 at the back, and felt great in 130 as well. But once we're starting to get into a steeper, heavier loading stuff, definitely feels like me and the fork are getting more overwhelmed. And it's still holding high lines okay, and like I say, it does sit nice and high on that damper. I've got it actually opened up a lot more now, and I have to say, it's feeling better. Yeah, I think I'd actually put a bit too much high speed on. You can hear there's much less fender slap. So although I wasn't particularly feeling it spiking, this feels more kind of open and natural now. But definitely in this 140, once you start leaning on these powerful Hope brakes, and now these tyres finally seem to have found some grip. I'm thinking of 36. It's obviously the more natural fork for this kind of riding, and the longer travel settings. There you go, that's where the Alcatel's for. Yes. Well, you see, you know, whoops, bounced out of there again. Oh, hello. Hey. But there, lovely. Mid-speed, mid-impact, just sits really nice in the middle of the stroke. So, although I'm finishing most runs looking like I've been really eating through the travel, when you play it back on the video, it's only pushing that ring through when you actually really want it to. And it's, for the vast majority of the time, it just feels a really, really sorted fork. I mean, as you'd hope for a proper top level factory fork. And on that note, as always, only go gold for the pose. You get exactly the same performance. I don't think anyone's ever proved otherwise with Performance Elite compared to factory, but you save yourself a couple of £100. That's better, Mick.
Good.
Better. Right, so we're going ultra wide lens for the summary run, and basically this 34 is exactly what it's supposed to be now. Genuinely lightweight, really well controlled trail fork, comfortable in that in 130, 140 range, definitely sweet spot in 130, I'd say. You may as well go for the step cast if you're going shorter travel, but really wide range damping without any nasty spiking kickback, so it's all usable even if you're relatively light 70 kilo rider like me. But lighter by like 10%, 150 grams than the Pike, but noticeably not as stiff. So if you are doing whoa stuff like this on the regular, you definitely want to be thinking about 36, I would say. And I should probably put in more pressure. I feel a bit bad for this fork, to be honest, because previous months it's been absolutely in its sweet spot, the riding I'm doing. First time I've been up here for the big G's and the steeps in a while. I should have added some air and probably a token, maybe even two, to the fork, because it is slapping through to full travel when I'm hitting stuff hard, especially as I've opened up the high speed even more. So yeah, expensive, and compared to RockShox, you've not got that 2-year warranty. And another thing I was reminded of yesterday when trying to change the damper in my 34 step cast was that hex top on the damper and the air spring, way more easy to destroy if you haven't got the right tools than that cassette lock ring design on the RockShox. So do go steady when you're having it serviced. Nice one.
Running good.
Ah, it was. Ah, well.
I mean, right, I've got to get
Off pace, but having fun. So in terms of how it compares with existing 34s, if you've got a Fit 4, then definitely this is a way smoother, more capable, more adjustable, more friendly, forgiving fork, more comfortable as well. Certainly with that, you know, super plush top end to it. And then, and compared to a Grip 2, then there's definitely less harshness. Even if you're running more damping, you're kind of, you know, doing what the damping should. It's just slowing that fork down, sitting it up without spiking it really badly. And even though, like I say, you know, it's still a light fork, as you can see, still, you know, holding the line under pressure. Now I think the release compounds come out of these forks, come out of these tyres, can trust them a bit more, definitely into leaning and letting this fork run a bit more. But like a lot of modern forks, you know, you are relying on the damper now. You know, it's not just running the air spring to keep you up. And compared to the Pike, it's a lot easier to set up, I would say. It just kind of does what you'd expect and hope it to as you change those multiple damping settings, rather than the Pike, which has that kind of crazy midsection that needs taming. Boom. So there we go. That's the Fox 34 factory GripX. So it kind of sits along with the Manitou Mattoc in a genuinely mid-weight, mid-travel space. And it's a really good fork for that usage. So thanks for watching. Let me know any comments that you've got on the fork, if you've used it yourself, or previous 34s or Pikes or whatever. Let me know if there's anything I've missed out that you want to know about. Click the subscribe button, click for notifications, give us a thumbs up like, and if you really like what I'm doing on the channel, maybe even throw us a few quid on Patreon. But for now, thanks for watching. I've been Guy Kesteven on Guy Kest TV, talking about the latest Fox 34 factory with the GripX damper.